My wallet is sobbing. I can hear it. I can hear it in the hall now. It is breaking down, crying.
It turns out that Attila, the arrogant so-and-so, he's got a fake hammer.
Oh, a fake?
Yeah.
Whoa. As I say, dick.
Poor Attila, huh? Welcome to episode 84 of the Mythic Legions podcast. Trying to start it off a little bit differently there. This week, we're going to chat about the Armory, of course, because that's the exciting news in the community. And a few other little things. So how are you boys? How are you, Mal? You doing well?
I am good, yes. It's early in the week, so I'm still feeling refreshed from the weekend and ready to go. Looking forward to today's episode, definitely.
Yeah, we're recording this a little bit earlier in the week because we want to get 2 recordings in this week, but the second one's going to be for our awesome Patreons. So that's the plan. That right, Rich? And you had the plan for the Patreon episode?
Yes, yeah. People can hear me talking lots again, which I'm sure people love.
Of course they do, yeah. Otherwise, why would they be tuned in? So we're going to talk about our favorite non-Legions figures, top 5 that we own. There you go. I'm going to have to try and find 5 non-Legions figures that I own.
Alas, I won't have. Yeah, I won't have that problem.
Yeah. No, I do have definitely some. I have sold a lot, but I kept what I liked, so that kind of fits into your top 5, doesn't it? So I'd definitely get more than 5 there. And I counted 56 more days as of the release of this episode to Legions Con. Does that sound real?
No, it's getting quite scary now.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah,
very exciting.
It should be fun. Yeah,
I say scary. I'm not like these guys like you, John, who are painting stuff up to get it done. I'm just like, it's scary in so much as I need to put stuff in a suitcase and fly.
Yeah, no, like I have enough stuff painted that I won't sell all that I've painted already. I'm sure, unless like I start discounting them like crazy. But I still there's certain things that I want to get painted, and kind of thought it would be cool to be there, even just as a showcase. It should be exciting.
It'll be very exciting. Yeah, I ordered my 2 homemade, well, not homemade, but home designed shirts for the con this week. They were dispatched today, so they should be with me tomorrow or Wednesday.
So, 1 of 1.
As we're recording this. 1 of 1, yes.
Yeah. Well, you know what? For our Patreons, post them on the Discord, so they get a little sneak preview.
Oh, I don't know. Or do I want to just say just to dazzle everybody at the event?
No, you won't dazzle anyone. Don't worry.
And I've continued,
definitely.
Thank you, Mal. I've continued the vanity project too, because my face is on both the shirts this time. So last year 1 shirt, my face. This year 2 shirts, 2.
Is it your actual face this year, or is it a painted?
It is not my actual face on either one. No, there's 2 impressions of me, or versions of me.
Awesome. And are they slagging off any particular thing, or?
I can't really say.
Oh, okay. Are you not sure?
Well, you've got, like last year, John, you've got a little part involved in this. So,
right.
Yes.
I see. So I'm guilty by association, is it?
Yes. There's a quote from you on one of them.
Oh, I love it. I said something quotable once. That's good.
You did.
Wow.
Which hopefully will make sense. So the people are going to look at me going, what the hell's he got on his shirt?
Well,
but being in joke.
If I said it on this show, I'm sure the people that want to get the joke might get it, And
exactly,
if I didn't, then it's probably a very rude word, and I won't be too proud about that.
You can point them at the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
there we go. Yeah, and I was getting carried away, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I, those awful drawings I did, maybe I should get like a little, not to sell, but a little calendar done up, and I was like, just rein it in. No, nobody's going to want those. Just breathe.
And have you done any more of the drawings, or?
I've got 3 more ready for when we next do a live one, and I can pump a few more out. Let's face it, they don't take that long.
That's true. Yeah, but
without giving too much away, one of the shirts does have a drawing on it of mine as well. So especially for the
fantastic
shirt. Literally, anyone that listens or watches the show will know this, what it is. Everybody else will be just like, is that guy special or something? What the hell?
He's definitely special. He's our special person. And we've got our visas now for America, our ESTAs, our quick lane visas.
All good.
Yeah, they're America. You're getting very efficient. This time it was an hour of processing, so it makes it look either you've automated it, or maybe when you do a renewal, it's quicker. Although a renewal is just actually a new one. There's no real renewal. But
no, you still have to fill all the other ridiculous details in again, don't you?
I didn't put my social media accounts in this year because I saw it was optional.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
I was like, why did I fill that out last time? It was just because I was so scared, It's like, I'm trying to be a good boy, I didn't put all my burner accounts.
Are you finally confessing your little Pete San?
No. At least I'm not the guy that's always saying bad things in the AWOC group. That must be your burner account. I don't know. I'm not in the AWOC group. I just assumed this.
I left it a while back. It was like, no, I've made my feelings clear. They don't care. So, bye.
Oh, come on.
I don't think they do care.
They really don't.
They care about you, that's for sure.
Monkeys, so yeah.
They just look, how many figures have we sold? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Who cares about that guy in Bristol?
Yeah. I could literally walk around Legions Con, not that I ever would, in case Jeremy's listening to this. I obviously wouldn't bring the show into distribute with a t-shirt saying F you AWOC, and they wouldn't care. So
probably not.
Oh, they just laugh as you're being thrown out on your ear.
Yeah.
And so would we, let's be fair. So we are going to do a Road to Legions Con this year. A couple of episodes with guests. We went a little bit crazy last year, didn't we, Rich? You went a little bit. We were new, so we needed to kind of try and get as many people as possible.
Yeah, I did the sort of wedding invitation route where I just invited everybody, presuming a lot of people would say no, or they couldn't make it, and
you've got
everybody said yes.
You've got 50 tables in the restaurant, and you've invited 100 on the assumption that Granny from or great grandmother from the other side of the country isn't going to bother coming.
Yeah, and then last year it turned out that she hired a limo and got herself down there, no problem at all, and was on the show. So yeah. No, we're not going to be doing I think one weekend, didn't we record 4 shows or something one weekend? We won't be doing that this year.
Yeah, no, we ended up having too many. And that's not to say, obviously everyone we invited on, we wanted to have on. But,
100%.
But scheduling wise, we just thought, we'll ask these all and surely we'll get 6 shows out of it instead of, we got a dozen shows out of it or more.
I think it was more.
Well, the way we've decided to approach it. So firstly, we're in this little section, the First Alliance section with Toy Forge and Detour Custom Funhouse, the Goblins, He-Mike, who else is in there?
Mythic Bits, Immortal Collection,
Borderland Horde. So that's all kind of one section that's going to be called the First Alliance. A bit like the Wolf King section has a load of different people that are kind of connected to Wolf King. So we'll have a bunch of those people on, probably kicking it off with Anthony, obviously. And
at which point he will become the person who has been on our show more than anyone. Which
he'd be happy with.
He'll love it. Yeah.
And then we're going to try and get some other people from the show that we like, obviously, and we like everyone at the show. But we've decided this year that there's lots of people that have their own shows, and as much as we'd love to have them on, maybe in the run up to Legions Con, they're going to be doing their thing, and we don't need to have them on in the run up to Legions Con, so they'll be great. Be great to have people from other shows on during the year when there's not much to talk about as much. So we're going to try and have people that don't have and they might end up being on other shows as well. Of course, there'll be crossover. Like we've always wanted to get Mark Calvo on at the right time. He was already on Legions Lounge, but I'm sure we'll get Mark on for this run up because he's going to be there this year. And obviously he's European like us, so it would be a miss if we didn't get Mark on. for example.
He better be there. I've already
plan.
agreed to pick up a few painted heads from him at the con. So.
Oh yeah, well then he'll just be on trying to sell you more. He just keep. What about this, Rich? You like vampires? Is it? Hold on. Yeah, here we go. There's 5 of these.
That's why all the guests agree to come on, because they're like, I know I can sell Rich something whilst we're talking.
Yeah, I might have to dip out the Borderland Horde interview and just leave you guys to it.
Oh, that'd be a shame. No, I want to see you foaming at the mouth. And Kerry having to come in and pick you off the floor and ask you, are you all right? And you're like, oh, they just revealed a new head and I'm going to bankrupt me.
We were chatting actually earlier on, not me and Borderland Horde, me and Kerry, about how much cash. About how much cash in theory I would need, because the exchange rate is quite good at the moment. So I thought I'll get my money early.
Just fill your boots.
Like, how much cash shall I get out? And I quoted a couple of numbers, and she was like, "You don't need that much, do you?" And I'm like, "Yes."
It goes quick.
How are you going to declare that at the border?
Yeah. So but no, the exchange rate is very favourable at the moment. So
it is. Before
we have our budget and it plummets again, then now's the time to get the cash.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, and I was also thinking about my painted stuff, so I'm just going to try and sell as much as I can this year. So painted heads would be $20 to $25. So I don't think you get them cheaper than that, apart from people that do their own heads, print them and paint them. Obviously, they could afford maybe to sell them, but why not? I'll still make money at those prices, so I don't need to make loads of money. I'm just paying for the pints.
That's the prices I was thinking of for my stuff too, John. I will lose money on all mine, but at least it gets.
Yeah, but that's because you bought them. I've bought the resin of all of mine, but especially since like a lot of stuff I've painted is from regions gone last year, and I went to tables, and okay, heads would have been 15 maybe if you bought one, but if you bought 10 or 12, you get them down to around 10 or less per head. Then you can sell them for 20 for your paintwork, and I think I'm getting better as a painter all the time, so hopefully they'd be worth people's money. So
having had a very large box of stuff through from John recently, I confirm he is getting very, very good with the paintwork.
Trying. Sometimes it's the inspiration, we talked about writing bios the other day, and I sat at the computer to try and write a bio for my leprechaun that we'll talk about later, and I just went away because I typed his name and then I was like, it's just not there. But then I came back, then was it that afternoon or the evening, and it just happened. 5 minutes it was done, or 10 minutes, and then I came back the next morning, reread it, corrected it, took out a few redundant words and a few repeated words and replaced a few words, and there you go, it was done. And that's kind of the way I see with the painting sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just skin tones today are not working, so I'm going to just go and do a load of base coats, or I'm going to prime a bunch more heads, because that's really easy. That's just messy, as if you have an hour or two, use it, and if it's not working one way, do something else, if you can, of course. So that's the crack with that. Why don't we get in to talk about the old Armory that we're going to see at Legions Con? And just to preface this, so I spent hours in Photoshop kind of clipping out the bits to kind of make the little thing, make the kind of, we're going to do a couple of mock-ups or whatever. And then the wonderful Kirby Smith posted today, and this was maybe the last mover advantage in recording early. Sometimes when you record late, it's good because you get, say, more news, or you get, something that's been announced last minute. That was the case here, because he posted a little tool that he'd made on a little website where you can actually do what I did, but like with just 3 or 4 clicks, because he's done all the work for you. So fair play to Kirby, and you guys have fun with that. He's posted the link on the Cabal, but I didn't cog his homework. I actually did this painfully in Photoshop, and you might see how painful it was in some of them. Actually, it was because some of them, are obviously they're beautiful pictures that, and we'll look at them now in a sec, that of all the parts that were taken. I assume Trevor did it, and but some of them are square on, which is perfect for doing the foot, and some of them are slightly at an angle, and then to try and rotate them a little bit in Photoshop to make them look good, especially with the pauldrons. The pauldrons are a disaster for all these mock-ups.
People get
but what can you do? Yeah, you get the idea. You get to see how the colours go together. So anyway, let's
trying to explain them for our listeners.
While
it's a very
spending the last 5 minutes apologising for this, why don't we actually talk about them? Right, the Armory. So this was announced last week on Jeremy's show, Mythic Conversations, and then also he did the posts on the different social medias. So he said that the LegionsCon Armory experience is essentially a build-a-figure experience for LegionsCon 2024. So who guessed that? Did we come to that conclusion at any stage? Did we mention? I'm sure we did mention something similar. No.
I think we did, but we mentioned quite a few different ideas.
Yeah, I don't think we settled as a definite, did we? But I think it was one of the many ideas floated about.
You know, my impression from when they put the two green figures up at that con that they were at was that it was definitely a 2-pack, because I didn't think those figures went together as such in terms of the head on the other one. But now we get what it was. And I actually found, going through this, that the heads are the thing that I would probably most likely replace on a lot of these figures, which is great. Come visit our booths at LegionsCon, all the different people selling custom heads. Come and get a custom head for your awesome Armory figure.
Absolutely. Any race, new character. Any race, any colour, just come and see us. The Euro Legions boys got you covered.
Yeah.
What I will
or
say
all the other vendors are available. Oh no, we're not the.
But the Euro Legion boys have got you covered. This is the important thing. Let's focus on the sales, John.
I don't care as long as I cover myself.
I've got my first big complaint here, though, is why is it Mythics? I think we should have had a cosmic Armory experience. Who wants these pithy little knights in their little, No,
it's been 10 years of Mythic Legions, Smal. Come back to us in, was it 7 years now?
Something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's very cool. I'm only messing around, obviously.
I'm sure Cosmic, if this works well, Cosmic will be down the track. Yeah, and to be honest, I would be personally very excited about Cosmic Armory experience as well, considering all the, even if it just was a Sentry build, all the different things they could do with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
and this is a good dry run for LegionsCon next year, where it's build your own dragon. So what colour wings do you want? What colour claws? All that sort of stuff. So this is a perfect dry run for it.
What head? Do you want a 3-headed dragon, 2-headed one? Yeah. It's just going to cost a little bit more, for the figure at the end. But otherwise, no hassle, no bother. Huh?
You have to back a personal Kickstarter for your dragon.
Yeah. As Jeremy has just crashed his car while listening to this. As I think he listens to it when he has a drive. So apologies, Jeremy. I had a flat battery the other day, the AA or whatever you have over there. Road Rescue, that's very good. They came and replaced the battery. €255. Thank you very much.
So buy those heads.
This happened to me 14 years ago, and I did the same process. Right, great. Like they do come. They came to. It was at home, so that was the lucky thing. They replaced it, and I was up and running. But 13 years ago, it was €90 for the new battery. Now, I did have a different car, but it had the same engine. A smaller car, but it has the same engine as this one, almost.
Nuts, isn't it?
And then I did Google a bit and look up, and yeah, that is kind of the price of them these days. It wasn't really like, okay, maybe a little bit more because you're getting it from them, but because of the cover I have, I didn't have to pay a call-out fee, so it was just the parts I was paying for. So anyway, yeah, so things have gone up, yeah, but I think that's a little bit more than inflation. So if you're getting an electric car, just think about it. I was paying $1.60 for a litre of petrol a couple of months ago. Now I'm paying $1.43. So, petrol goes down a bit. Batteries, I think they're just going to go up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes.
the Armory.
John shitting all over the green economy. Like,
I mean, I am all for the green economy. I just don't think electric cars are the solution to the green economy whatsoever. I think they're just a bullshit thing that they're doing while we figure out what actually might help. So these awesome nights, right? Beautiful nights here. Actually, one of the bills you sent me, Rich, is literally this red knight on the left.
It's exactly. I couldn't quite tell if it was exactly the same or not.
Yeah, I checked it. Now, wait till you see the Photoshop version of it. He looks a little bit junkier, so just bear that in mind. He's had a few too many dinners, like myself. So, these, if they just announced these 4 figures as exclusives, you'd be kind of wetting your chops, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So, this is already cool. So it's choose your head. So we got 20 options for the heads in 4 different colors. So it's red, it's like almost the red. It might even be the same color, the red from the red pilot from Cosmic, or very similar red. Definitely that glossy, shiny red.
Do you think it is?
It's glossy, definitely. Might, as if it's as shiny as that one, I'd say it's close. But we can compare the Legions Con and report back. Then we got this beautiful jade metallic, your classic silver metallic, and a very kind of light purple metallic, almost lilac, I would say. Purple gang. They're just appeasing them now at this stage, huh?
I know, it's all the purple. Purple rules the world.
Well,
can I interrupt for a second here too?
Yeah.
I've just desperately scanned my phone, and my red knight build is not the same as one they've got, John. It's
is it not?
Waist piece.
What?
No.
A different waist piece, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope I used the right one then. I followed your instructions though. Then there's choose your torso, and this is where the colors get a little bit changed up.
Should we possibly say? I mean, people will have heard, but we might as well do it properly. Should we? The heads. So from left to right, you have the Gorgo, the Celette, the Joust, the Pig Face, as Jeremy's calling it, and then finally it's the Bucket with the horns.
Yeah. So the Celette is the one that you would have classically saw on Valiant Knight. That's the one that it came packaged with. There wasn't a helmet.
Well, I like the Gorgo in that.
What do you say? The Joust one is the one, the classic Knight helmet.
Yeah, the classic,
came,
the one you think of when you
Silver
think of
Knight or whatever.
Perhaps,
Yeah.
your classic Knight look.
Yeah, and the Pig Face that came with Father Christmas first. It was one of the ones in his sack, wasn't it?
That's right.
That and the Celette were the 2 in the sack.
Yes.
Yeah, and the Bucket with the horns. That's Dark Templar came first with.
That's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah. So torsos. We got 12 options for torsos. We got the Magnus torso, we would call it, in the different colors. The same colors as we said before: red, jade, silver, lilac, purple. We got the Duban / Red Shield Soldier torso. Again, same colors. And then we got this beautiful leather torso. It comes with Bardrick, I believe, first.
Yeah.
And that comes in slightly different colors. So kind of a reddish leather, a more forest green, a black, matte black, and a brown leather, which comes, and that's the brown leather's in the same row as the purple. So interesting, so we'd call that the purple leather torso, but it's not purple.
Yeah, this is where it got a bit weird, wasn't it? It was like the colour schemes just shifted. It was just like, oh, hang on a minute.
But made it interesting. What made it tricky, tricky to be really funky for me was this. You choose your arms and legs. So again, another 12 options. And the arms and the legs together. This is where you could have got really funky with the colors if you switched them up. But you can get 2 if you get into. We'll get to that, but you can get 2, so you could still do that with your figure. But if you're just going for one figure at a time, you got your arms and legs. So again, the classic knight arms and legs, and these are the Valiant Knight arms. So therefore, they are more articulated. You got the evil, isn't the evil kind of knight legs or whatever? This kind of, the spiky ones.
The spiky boots that I so famously draw.
Yeah, and they have the matching wrist gauntlets as well. And then you got the cloth, which the red is kind of orange and red metallic. The green is forest green, or kind of darker forest green cloth.
Yeah, definitely darker.
With the kind of bronze metallic, and then the matching boots to the torso. I would say to that green of the torso. The black cloth with silver, and this kind of brown leather cloth with silver. So not with purple, even though it's on the purple row, which is interesting. Yeah. Right. And then the last step for the kind of figure is to choose your armor. So you get pauldrons, skirt piece, or waist piece, and the kind of tabard. So we get the various different options there. So it's the first one is red, jade, silver, and purple in the I would call them the Vortog pauldrons.
That's it.
Big spiky ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know who that skirt, what would you call that skirt piece from?
Is that the one from the Valiant Knight?
Could possibly be. And then you've got the Red Shield Soldier skirt and pauldrons and tabard. Then you've got, I think this is the Valiant Knight one, the third one. Those rounded pauldrons. Again, red, jade, silver, purple, and then leather. A couple of cool leather options in the original colors from before. So this kind of brownish red leather, the forest green, the black, and the brown leather. So pretty sweet. We'll see where we go with those. Weapons then, you just get a weapons pack with each figure. This is what it is. 2 belts.
Pretty
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. The long sword, the sword with the sheath, the mace with 2 attachments. There's the ball, the spiky ball, and the kind of bladed kind of attachment to the mace, whatever that is called. And this round shield that we saw most recently with the skeleton builder in silver. And then a gag item. So this is basically gold colored accessory that you can just get for whatever. This is only at Legions Con. This is the exclusive part for Legions Con. So not a big deal if you're, there'll be loads of these floating around on the groups if you want to pick one up, I'm sure, at the end. So the gold Krampus branch, a bunch of sticks, stuff from the Monkey King. So the peach in gold. That's right. This thing here, what's that called again from the Monkey King? The gourd. Then we got this ducky. Did that come with Santa before?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Yes.
And the last one is what?
And the fox. Yeah.
And the fox, yeah. Oh, that's the fox, is it? Very hard to see there in the picture. So there you go. What are you thinking with these? Because we don't do these in the builds. So what gag item would you load up on, Rich?
I don't know. Maybe the sticks. The sticks I could see actually useful for something. I mean, it could have somebody wander around with a little rubber duck, like a gold rubber duck, but that doesn't quite fit with Mythos. Maybe I'm going to go, if I get 2, which I probably will, knowing me, I'll go the peach and the branch.
Yeah. I think the branches, I like as well. Mal, you?
I mean, I think it's going to be a just in the moment decision for me, but here and now, the branches feel like the most, but that means everyone's going to feel
just because they're biggest and shiniest, isn't that it?
Yeah.
I
do like the golden peach. For some reason as well. There's something about that.
It's because it looks like an arse. Peachy.
Who doesn't love a nice peach?
Exactly. So this was the builds they showed then. Obviously, you see them more. Look how beautiful that is. As someone who's been photoshopping them together, this is like, whoa. This is why we pay for them. So it's a ticketed event to get into the Armory, but you just have to queue up before you go into Legions Con. So in the morning, so probably 7 in the morning, probably need to be queuing up, and they'll give out tickets to the people in line, and then you get the chance to go into the Armory, and each figure you put together is $45. So that's how it works. And they said that you basically be given a time slot to come back and go to the Armory. So it won't be like you have to then queue all day and miss Legions Con. So you come and see, you got your ticket for the Armory, you come and see us and see what head you want to go with your figure that you're going to get. That it?
I think they need to get their figure first and then come and decide what head they want. I'm sure any head will go with it.
Come first.
But we'll take your money at any point. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah. So we got the classic Jade Knight with the bucket helmet here. We got a very menacing looking black Knight with the silver Gorgo helmet. Got Silver Knight, classic, but that's in the purple. Is that purple?
Knight, yeah.
It's Purple Knight.
Purple Knight.
Purple Knight. And then the red Evil Blood Knight. So with the evil build.
That red. Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah, it looks great. And I'm sure it'll look great in person as well. Right, so should we do... so I put your builds together and I did a few of my own, but you had covered a lot of what I did, so I didn't do as many. So Rich has 7, I think Mal has 5, and I just did 3 then of... I had done 1 before I got yours, and Rich did almost exactly the same build, so... Yeah, I decided I wasn't going to do too much repeating, so shall we kick off with your first one, Rich?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Well, just before we describe the build, should we talk a little bit about what we're thinking in terms of how we're approaching it? Because Rich talked about whether we saw them as characters, and I sort of mentioned, for me, they're more like builders or parts, but that's kind of back and forth on that one anyway. So should we... Well, I'll start sort of talking about what... See, I found this I'm going to find this shock horror really difficult and be swapping and changing in my mind until the very moment I'm picking them. Because I started out, when it was initially announced, I was like, oh, great, like a little collection of parts you could just get. And immediately I was like, cloth goods for it all, and I'll use them for something else. And as time's gone by, I've gone back and forth. I'm kind of like, the green jade, it'd be cool to have a build that's, like the equivalent of Vorgus to be, because that was the jade was option in that, and the purple, it's like, how purple is the purple? Because in Jeremy's show they showed off a build, and Eric said it's funny because it's close to one we wanted to do previously and they hadn't got round to. And then of course that red armor is so cool as well. You start going, well, that's 3 ideas I've got already, and that's 3 that I'm going to build and not want to take apart anyway. So I'm going to find this really hard.
The red one is Vorgus's guards, or I don't know, Vorgus's.
It's going to be something else for me, even though I like Vorgus so much. Yeah, it's something different for me. So Rick,
yeah, in my head, in my head, that big red thing is, it's just a big human knight that's sent in to deal with the really nasty monsters.
Oh, and that's how he comes out afterwards.
Well, no, he looks red just as an intimidating armor sort of thing. But yeah.
Well, but what are you guys thinking? I'm guessing you two aren't as like all over the place as I am, really. Are you, or are you?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm looking at trying to get mine at Intern. I think they're available at Intern. So I'll get my 2 there. I know I just want to put the 2 coolest figures together. I'd probably keep them that way, but it is also, if I get another chance, then it's time to go in and get some parts.
Yeah,
let's say. Okay, yeah. That's how I'm looking at it.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, I'm more, I know in my head what I want figure-wise, so I'm going to try and get those. I want the particular green, the Jade Knight. I want some soft, good type things. So yeah, that's how I look at it more.
Yeah. And if I look at the leather piece with the chest plate, that's the rare part for me. That's the part that you'd go, right, okay, if I could get a bunch of them on their own, if I could trade for them. So
that's a good point.
That would be interesting to talk to Chris James if we get him on before Legion's Con to talk about his the Pop and Swap event that he's doing and trading, Pop and Swap event. That will there be people that are coming with their Armory parts and trying to get other ones? That would be.
Yeah, I think the deciding thing for me as well will be whether they show beforehand what the pre-packed ones are going to be that they're going to be selling next year.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
If they show the combination of parts beforehand, I might be like, well, that's close enough to one of the ones that I was thinking of building, so I can just put that one to one side and move on to something else.
Yeah, I think Kevin Boots in our Discord mentioned that he'd like to know that as well. So that would be good. Yeah. I think maybe the 4 that we've seen as examples.
Possibly. That's good.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was those. I'm not saying it is, but
no, yeah. The black one would be cool. That would be where I would go with that one. That would that, but the rest.
Yeah, I would imagine we're less likely to see the cloth sort of goods and the leather torso and that.
Well, let's
because
see
they
what
are
we've
so
got.
bright and different.
Yeah.
So this first one that you have, Rich, is almost identical to what I have, apart from the head. So why don't you bring us through it? So I've done 2 pictures here because I wanted to do with and without pauldrons, because I think people often display their figures without the pauldrons. So it's interesting to see how they potentially look there, especially colors wise. And these parts are over on the side of the thing that are mostly straight on, so they look a bit better than some of the other figures. So if you think this one is bad, wait till you see what's coming.
I think everyone, this is an episode. If you can watch it on YouTube, it's worth watching on YouTube. and that's not a dig at John, actually. Yeah, I think he's done a great job with them all. But it's so visual, this episode. It's ridiculous.
Well, describe them then. So, Rich, tell us what you got here.
So this is, I was trying to think of like the green to me. It looks quite subdued on this picture, but it's really in your face, sort of bright green. The cloth parts, or the torso, the pauldrons, the waist piece sort of thing, are really bright green. So I wanted to just go full on crazy. So I went for the leather green torso. The armor part was the green soft goods. So you got the leathery waist piece and the pauldrons. The arms and legs are the orange cloth pieces, and then the head is the red Gorgo helmet head with the horns. I just wanted. I looked at it and it's like, okay, I want the brightest, weirdest set of combination of parts that I can do. That works. And then what do I want to do with the head? Because none of the heads work with this leather soft goods look in my head, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're all too bright and they don't work.
I struggled with it as well.
So I was like, what would I want this character to...
Looks pretty good. But we'll get to that.
So I was like, what do I want this character to be? And I was like, I want it to be a Psycho X Jester. So
I love it.
What's the helmet that fits most closely to that? The Gorgo one out of the options we've got. It's got the bits sticking out like your Jester hats have and that sort of thing. he's got bright clothes because he's just, he's a zany psycho killer type person. So yeah, so that's why I went for that head.
Yeah, well, just your thing on the colors. I think that maybe that's the good thing about seeing the colors together. That I think the green pops less because all the other colors are popping as well.
Yes, I'd say so with this, definitely.
So just this was my figure, so it was just the same figure but with the bucket, the red bucket helmet. That was the only difference. So there you see the difference between the two. And yeah, I literally was just trying to find a head that kind of worked with it, and the red to match the lower legs seemed to make sense for me, and I went with the bucket helmet. So
I quite like the bucket helmet look as well.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fit with my character, but I like it as a helmet. I think that works well.
But I think all these I probably will, except maybe anything with the leather torso. I'll definitely be using a custom head in it. Definitely, or a Legion's character head that you build an alternate build for. Maybe you want this could be Lord Bardrick, in a different uniform or something like this.
Or you could use one of the Zende heads, maybe. It could be Bardrick's brother.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Long lost brother or something like that.
Yeah, sounds good.
I do really like that green, although I don't think I actually I use it for one build, which I think at the head I've managed to make it look okay on that one. But I do really like the colours of the green. It's one of those things that makes me go, well, do I just get parts?
Oh, you've got 56 days to consider that.
Well,
right, your first one, Mal, was this evil Jade guy.
Yeah, so I've tried to get as close as possible to Vorgus, the original Vorgus, with this idea of it being what could have been if we got the Jade Knight rather than Vorgus Vermilion. So, of course, you can't do exactly alike. So I've got the the green Gorgo head, and then I went with the green... It's all green. I should just say that, shouldn't I? It's all green.
Jade green, yeah. Magnus torso,
Magnus torso,
evil spiky legs and arms.
That's it, yeah. And then it's, the waist piece.
Red,
it's a bit
red shield soldier.
Yeah. And is that the same with the shoulders? Was the red shield as well? Was it?
Yeah. So the more fitting pauldrons.
That's it. So it wouldn't look exactly like him, but it'd be a close-ish sort of modern. With the new pieces mostly, or to an extent.
Yeah, exactly. You could say that if they had the parts library now, this might be closer to it than what they originally did. Yeah, this is a good one. What do you think, Rich? All Jade?
I really love this. This is very close to one of mine. But I love Mal's thinking behind it. Yeah, get something that's as close as you can to the original Vorgus. So it would have been the Jade Knight that they almost gave us. I really like that idea.
Right. Shall we stick with you, Mal? We go on to your next one?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah. So
this is a cool one. I love this one.
I do like this one, actually. Yeah.
Again, all red parts, because this is how I approached my initial few, was all the same colours. I basically just went with my favourite bits on this one from the red selection. I love the Salet helmet. I think that's it's possibly my favourite knight helmet that they do besides Gorgo. Gorgo's another one, but yeah. I've then gone with the red shield body. What did we say those arms, that chest piece and the waist piece and the shoulders were?
Oh, that's Valiant Knight waist piece and shoulders.
Yeah, right. So the Valiant Knight waist piece and shoulders, and then the red/orange cloth goods. It's actually very, very similar. Excuse me. It's very, very similar to one that if you look at the pictures from ToyCon New Jersey, they'd already built one like this, slightly different,
had they?
I think. Yeah, but I did this and then I saw that. So, but yeah, I think this looks really cool. I was torn whether to give him the leather shoulders and leather skirt piece, but I think the armor just adds a bit more to him, I think. I don't know. We'll see at close, perhaps at the time.
Well,
I love this combination of parts, Mal. And the colours. I mean, the orange is orange, but it actually works quite well. I think with that helmet as well, it's not too. Yeah.
In terms of the colours, and you could definitely fit this into a faction in Legions and, call it some sort of a troop,
Yeah, totally.
And there is 230,400 unique combinations in this, but a lot of them will be very similar. You're talking about a head swap here, but there is a lot of combinations, but that doesn't mean that it wouldn't be a surprise to see a repeat or very similar, like myself and Rich did almost on the first one. Right, Rich, your second one. I love this one as well. Mr. Brown.
That's cool.
Yeah, so this was just me wanting really to make use of those the brown soft goods, the sort of the arms and the legs sort of thing. I thought I love the colour of those. So I thought, right, how can I use those? And it's like, do you know what? I can use those with the red leather torso, reddy brown leather torso and the skirt piece that goes with that. I think those offset each other really well.
Yeah.
And then a helmet again, if this guy is a sort of, almost like a lower born soldier. And I think out of those helmets, I think this is the one that most suits that. It's a sort of cheaper helmet to make, as it were, because it's not particularly ornate. You shove a couple of ram's horns on it. There you go. You've got a bruiser there who can enforce discipline on the troops and that sort of thing. And I love the colour matches. I will definitely be doing this one now that I've seen you put it together, John.
Yeah, really, really like that build, and I think it'd look awesome with a custom head on it. Some like unhelmeted head or something slightly different. Rich, I think that was really, really good.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, leathery kind of knight, something that could be from Robin Hood almost. Okay, might be time to bring up my second one here. Similar use of parts, but I've swapped out the red. So we have all the brown leather, brownish red leather, and then we have the evil spiky bright metallic red arms and legs, and the silver Gorgo helmet with the horns.
Pretty cool as well. That's fun. I like that one.
That's a kind of a fun build, isn't it? What do you think, Rich?
Yeah,
that is. I was thinking, because the skirt piece is soloed out, I was thinking, like, it's a dwarf. It's a dwarf.
Yeah. Just, ignore the funkiness. This is going to look slick and beautiful when we put it together at Legion's Con.
I do like it, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that you can't see above the knee, but to me, it just looks like it's a soldier who's wearing his mum's, like, kinky boots out for the evening.
Right.
That sort of look.
Maybe not.
See, the one
what you've done, Rich. Look what you've done. He's moved on.
What you've done. This is yours.
Yeah, which is perfect.
This is the one that we said was almost the copy of this.
It is. It's very similar. In fairness, though, in my defense, it probably would have been, except they did a build that you couldn't copy. See, that it's their waist piece is that.
The waist piece is different,
Yes.
Yeah, and that's not in a combination set.
Right, yeah.
But otherwise, I say great minds work alike. Me and Jeremy Gerard, we've clearly come up with the same thing.
Yeah. And the pig head helmet here, what's the logic here? Or just...
Again, out of all the helmets, this is the real bruiser, the real I'm going to mess you up helmet, in my eyes. So that's why with the big spike pauldrons, the heavy armor, the spike boots, the whole sort of, imposing sort of look, then for me, the pig helmet's, the most imposing of all those. I can headbutt you, I can stab you with my piggy snout, all that sort of stuff.
I have got visions of like some poor dude shoved into this armor, loads of padding, can't see where he's going, can't move, and they just point him towards the vampires because they know, you just go, we'll be right behind you.
Yeah, right. I like that, Mal. There's in the Viking Museum in York, they've got a skeleton in the museum, and it's like quite, for the period, it's quite, it's like 1,000 years ago, it was like 6'2", 6'3", so a tall guy for the time.
Yeah.
And they were saying, this is basically like, looking at his body and that sort of thing, he's basically just a farmhand who was really tall, so they grabbed him, gave him a weapon, almost certainly didn't last longer than 20 seconds on the battlefield. But we've got his corpse here, his bones here. There we go.
Yeah, and take his armor. We can reuse that.
Yeah,
that's it.
Right, Mal, you did the beautiful black one with the bucket helmet.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with this one. So yeah, we've got the black bucket helmet, and I really liked how it's got the metallic, like the pale metallic stripe where the cross is. And I've combined that with the leather torso, leather skirt, and then the Valiant parts. And I just think it looks cool. There's not a lot to be said. Probably the one I won't go for, but I just thought it was a cool combination of parts in those colours.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, you could also do the purple colour with the black. I think would look good.
Yeah, definitely.
Possibly, yeah, similar.
Yeah, that would work. It's quite a sort of sleek build as well, isn't it? So it's like you can see this guy moving a lot quicker on the battlefield.
Yeah. Bit of a assassin sort of element.
He could almost he could almost be the kind of he could almost be a Dark Templar, couldn't he? Just a different build of one.
Perhaps a lower ranked one of them as well, like Rich talked about earlier.
Or higher ranked, who knows?
Or higher, yeah.
Rich, finally someone went with the bit of purple.
Yeah. Listeners know my love of purple and green is my two favourite colours. So the green one, who we'll come to in a minute, it's a combination of green and purple knights who go around Mythoss doing good. I wanted one sort of bulkier guy and one slimmer guy, So this guy would be the slimmer one. So this has got the sallet head, the red shield shoulder pauldrons, the good guy armor, and the Valiant Knight torso. So all the sort of slimmed down, not quite as violent looking
red
stuff.
Red shield soldier torsos, no Valiant Knight torso. Just to be clear. Yeah.
Oh, is that okay? I don't have a Valiant Knight. I sold mine. So
yeah, well, you're a scalper, so what can you do?
I'm not a scalper. I just took advantage of the market.
You're a market follower, yeah.
Yes, so I wanted an all purple one. So these were the best set of parts in terms of that. I wanted the helmet that sort of gave again like out the helmet. I was trying to think of the sort of knights that would wear the particular type of helmets, and for me, this is the sort of thinking man knight helmet. It's more more serene, more chill.
The run faster knight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Although he does look like he's had a few too many dinners there, but as I said, when you get him out of the pack, he'll slim down pretty quickly. Yeah,
this is the guy that wears the helmet where he can just turn and the arrows just ping off it, and he's like, "Yeah, I've used my head. I'm sensible. It's just streamlined."
This is your version of this build, I think.
Yeah, and to be honest, this was ripping off the one that Eric in Jeremy's show said, "Oh, we can't. That's one we wanted to offer as a purple knight, and we hadn't gotten round to it." Because when he showed it, I was like, "Oh, that's cool, and it'd be kind of cool to own that as well." I want to, though, with the purple armor, I want to see how purple it is. The more purple, the better, because it'll be a bit different. Otherwise, it's gonna skew silver, isn't it? Just so. And
you could always. I mean, I know it's a pain in the bum for a lot of people, but you could just get a metallic silver that's more silver and just dry bush it over. And with or that's more purple, sorry.
Yes.
And
yeah, that's true. That's true. Or a wash, purple wash.
Yeah, and because it's already purple underneath, it'll take it much easier in terms of this color saturation. If I look at the pauldrons here, they look more purple than the other metallics. Yeah. So I think the lighting is the difference there. So that might be the purple of the figure, and that's more purple, so that would be good.
Yeah. If they're on the more purple side, this is one I could do definitely.
So it's the classic. It's the jousting knight, Valiant Knight. Skirt and then the classic knight and the red sheet soldier kind of rest of it. Basically.
He looks like a very classic knight build, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah,
but with some of the newer parts, basically.
Right, Rich, you've got a Dark Knight, and he looks pretty cool.
I have. So this is in my in my brain when I was thinking about what I wanted to do with the black stuff, it was like, right, I want a black character. And I actually like the soft goods. I think the soft goods work with the armor in this sort of thing. So I was like, right, it's got soft good, like, when I say soft goods, the sort of cloth arms and legs and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of cloth
plastic,
stuff.
but
yes.
It's cloth.
Yes. Plastic cloth. Yeah. But he's a fighter. He's giving it some. So I went with the leather torso, the cloth arms and legs, the black cloth arms and legs, sorry, the black leather torso, the red shield soldier, loincloth, and pauldrons, and then I went for the pig helmet. And my idea with this character was that one of two options. Either it's going to be someone trying to sneak into the vampire ranks who's dressed in black, put a couple of purple highlights on, he sneaks in that way. Or, and I think this is what I'm thinking more of, it's a vampire who just wants to fight people. He doesn't want to drain their blood, and he just wants to get in scuffles. So he's wearing the helmet so that you can't tell he's a vampire. But he's like going to jousting matches, and when they have their like stand-up sword fights and that there, and he's doing all that sort of stuff. But he's so confident that he's got the cloth goods on, and he's like, everyone's like, this guy's a lunatic, but he's quick because obviously he's a vampire. But he's got the helmet to protect him from the sun, etc.
That's a cool story. That's very cool.
Yeah, that could get behind a few of them. That's a good vampire army builder. Right, this is the last one I came up with. So it's a bit of a mishmash. So we got the kind of green cloth arms and legs with the copper metallic parts on those. We got the we got the red classic knight jousting helmet plus the red shield soldier torso with the brownish red leather skirt piece and pauldrons. So it's a bit all over the shop, but I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's another fun one. Those green arms and legs, the biggest, I mean, again, they look really cool. Biggest problem with them is that copper coloured metal, isn't it? It doesn't really go with anything else.
You don't think so? Yeah.
Well, I mean, it
clashes
with the brown,
red here. It clashes with the red here.
Yeah. But I just mean in terms of the other armour pieces, it doesn't match.
No, I think Joe said something on Jeremy's show around they were trying to just get it into more, that it's something that would go with the Xylona's flock sort of colours. So they got the goldy sort of brass, bronze sort of colour scheme there as well, sort of things. I think that was their thinking.
Yeah.
So
then sometimes
it go with the leather torso.
It drifts away from whether is this parts pack or is it a build a figure, Yeah. I think, of course, it can be both, because if you went to the Lego build a figure wall, you'd probably be just getting bits for your other figures at home, for the most part.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's a very fun build you've done there.
Not for you, Rich, this one.
No, I like this.
You do?
It's yeah. It's a sort of weird build that with an unhelmeted head, with the helmet under the arm. Then it's a guy that's just been wandering around picking up various bits and bobs off the battlefield, sort of thing, to put a suit of on. And he looks a bit ridiculous, but at least he's better protected than he was before, and he's happy enough. I quite like that look.
Could knock back the sheen a bit with a matte coat on the red. That could help it. Or maybe it just looks better in hand, because obviously metallic under studio lights for these nice photographs can be tricky. Right, back to you, Rich. This is very similar to Mal's first one.
It is very similar. This is my green knight to go with the purple knight we saw earlier. So this guy's the proper fighter, the bigger guy of the two. So all green stuff. I went with the bad guy armored legs and feet, the spikes, the sort of I'm going to fight you sort of look. The Magnus torso, the Gorgo head, which I think is the most brutal of those. Although thinking about it now, maybe the bucket head might have been a better fit, but I'll stick with that one for now. And then I really wanted that loincloth, so the chainmail loincloth hanging down. I'm not sure necessarily it's the best set of pauldrons, but the loincloth was the main selling point. I wanted that with this figure just to break up the green a little bit.
So
that's why I went for that.
If we look back at Mal's, he's just done different.
I nearly went with the build that
skirt
Rich has
piece.
done there. I nearly went with the build Rich has done there for him, and in the last minute I swapped out because I wanted that skirt piece, but the loin piece I wanted more of a metallic one rather than the chainmail one.
This is where swapping afterwards can do.
Yeah.
Even if the three of us coordinated and said, "I want that tabard, I want that skirt piece," you could easily get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if we do the vendor one at the end of the Saturday, there might be less stuff. So it might be a case of, actually this piece is here. I don't really want it, but I know Mal was talking about it lots. Yeah. I can grab it and do it to Mal.
Yeah.
For a small fee.
Your last one, Mal, I love this one.
Yeah, this was me trying to use a few different parts that weren't on the same rows. Yeah, no, so different colours, and I actually think it works quite well. The head might be slightly off from the metal on the metallics on the arms and legs. So I've gone with the sallet head again. As I say, that's what that and the Gorgo are my favourites. I've gone with the green leather torso, green skirt piece and shoulders, which I do think that combination looks really cool. But I've then put it with the lighter brown, the earthier brown that was with the purple stuff. And that actually, for some reason, looks like the purple helmet, but it's not. It's the gunmetal / metal helmet. It's just the light. And I think it actually works quite well, doesn't it? Yeah. Again, might look even better with a custom head on. That's not a helmeted head, but
if you put a kind of a cool custom head on this, could be any character.
Yeah. To me, this screams of like a man-at-arms sort of build. It's not your knight, it's his squire or his most trusted sergeant. With the colours and all that sort of greens and the browns. I really like this, man.
Yeah, I was quite chuffed with that one.
Right, and then last
for
our builds is Rich with purple and jade.
Yeah, so purple and green are two. I know this is jade, but purple and green are two favourite colours. So I had to get a build where they were all. Both colours were in there. This was one I changed my mind on about 15 times. I did a Mal when I was trying to put the pieces together for this one. It was like, purple head, the jade
you
head.
Sent me the final build as opposed to change it after I'd done it.
But this guy in my lore, this is like a proper poser knight. This is a guy that rocks up for tournaments, do a bit of jousting. And he's like, well, the rest of you are in your one-tone armour and this sort of stuff. Nope, I have got jade and purple. Two of the rarer, more expensive colours, more difficult to weld into metal. This is what I've got. So it's got the classic jousting helmet in the green. You've got the red shield soldier torso in the green, and then the loincloth waist piece and pauldrons from the red shield soldier in the green as well. And then it's the purple good guy arms and legs.
Awesome. I really like it.
Yeah. I really like that. That's cool.
And I think you could easily swap it for a purple helmet, maybe. Sounds terrible.
Oh yeah.
But that would work.
Clip that.
Warrior.
But they're two great colours. Like I will be doing this, even if it's buying the single ones in 2025 when they go up, sort of thing, and then just mixing and matching the parts. I love this one.
Excellent. Well, all I can say at the end of that is
my wallet is sobbing. I can hear it. I can hear it in the hall now. It is breaking down, crying.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough one. Tough, but yeah. So I think overall, I have to say, well done, Four Horsemen, for an absolutely incredible initiative. The Armory experience, I haven't seen that before at this kind of scale, at Legion scale, I would say, size of figure. I mean, so amazing undertaking, and I think they can do it because they know the community has their backs and they will lap it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'd also say as well, it is a really good idea, and no matter how many people moan, and people will moan after the event that the queue was too long for it, it's a brilliant idea, Horseman. Do it again.
Yeah, fantastic.
Totally, yeah. As Mal said, do the cosmic.
Yeah, next year we need cosmic.
Well, it's a dragon next year, Mal. Cosmic can be the year after.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
All right. Well, then we've got a few more things to cover. So that's the Armory. So we have a few more things, and then we'll be done for another week. So who did it? Who done it? Right.
Like that.
We've got this little figure that I posted. So this on the custom head that I helped design with the help of Edu from Prop Masters, the leprechaun that we're going to be offering at Legions Con. So I did my own version of him, as you can see right there. So I finally I sculpted those little gold coins coming out of the pipe over the weekend.
Oh, wow. Well
with
done.
just bits of putty, green stuff or whatever it is. And managed to get them painted. And then I was like, okay, now I can take a nice photograph because I wanted to incorporate that into the story. So found a nice part of the garden where there wasn't too much in the background that looked like modern. So took a nice little photo of him. So I love the Marley coat here. I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so really fun. And I did a little bio. Shall I read the bio?
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
So it's Shanachie. So known to the inhabitants of all the realms of Mythos, Shanachie is a traveling storyteller, regaling anyone who crosses his path with poetry and prose, sprinkled with heroes and villains known and unknown of times past. The innkeepers are always glad to see him arrive, as they know that their establishment will be well patronized long into the small hours, with many eager ears happy to be entertained while drinking fine ales and wines. Shanachie has had many close encounters with some of the worst denizens that Mythos has to offer. His secret weapon is his magic pipe, which he can use to produce gold to bribe his way out of trouble. Unfortunately, the magic only works when the pipe senses mortal danger, and he will never be rich as a result. It does, however, allow him to continue to roam the land, educating the people about past histories in the vain hope that their future choices will bring Mythos one step closer to peace. So I had to put a little bit of hope in the end.
I love that
really
bio,
like it.
John.
Yeah. I
I think it came together nicely. As I said,
keeper.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the gold coming out the pipe twist is great as well, sort of thing. And it's, it's a slap. It's great, but it's also a smack in the face because they'll never get rich out of it. I love that little twist.
Yeah, I needed to include the gold coins somehow, and I was like, how will I incorporate them in the story? I'd already decided to do them, in the custom itself. And then it was, some of it is like actually seeing. So this is a Shanachie in Ireland is this old, it is still going, but traditionally there was these people that are basically telling stories in pubs or, just you meet them out in the more Irish speaking parts of the country would have been traditionally from. And yeah, they can keep talking forever. They have enough stories to keep you going for a long time. So obviously when you get one in the pub, it can be a good night. You're not going to leave too early unless you're thrown out. So that was a kind of personal experience, almost, so to speak. And then, the little bit about the pipe and the gold, that just kind of came to me, and I was like, that's because I was like, I don't want him to have a weapon like, dagger or something like this. Maybe you'll have to have a dagger in the back pocket as well for really desperate occasions. But in general, how can I give him a weapon that will get him out of trouble? Because Mythos is, as we know, not the most straightforward place to be roaming around telling stories in.
Well, and it feels like he needs a touch of magic about him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because of...
then I can stick him in the congregation of Basilia at some stage, And,
feels like he fits really, really well.
So I'm not sure. I will bring him to Legions Con. I'm not sure if I will sell him yet. I have to consider that. I definitely will have him on display.
Sorry, the other touch I really, really like about the heads you've painted is you've given them, and I don't think it's sort of been said enough, is you've given them a sort of flushed look, so you can tell he spent a lot of time.
Yeah. That
in
exactly. Yeah,
I love that.
You have to try and put a little bit of a nod to what are these people actually at. You know? Exactly. So that's Shanaki. Mal, you've been busy as well with a bit of painting.
Yeah.
These are the best eyes I've seen you do.
Yes.
And some of the best eyes I've seen. They're awesome. So where is this head from, and describe it first?
It was actually, I think it was, I forget who it was from, but I think it was from Canadian ones. Rich.
Dust Till Dawn Studios.
Dust Till Dawn Studios. And I think it was actually one for me to just practice on, because the bone through the nose had broken perhaps when they were printing it, so they'd sent it as a spare. So I tweaked it and cut out the bone completely, modified the bones going through the fabric sort of wrap in his head to make them look more like metal spikes. And I wanted to make him cosmic. And I this is where I've talked about getting inspiration from Star Trek Prodigy. There's a character that doesn't look like this, but has a similar color palette. And I thought, I want to use that because the paleness, make him look quite evil. And yeah, as I say in my post, I'm not entirely sure it's worked exactly how I want.
I love your post is apologizing in the first sentence.
But I am really, really, of all the things, so happy with the eyes. They've come out.
Yeah.
They're the most...
And the pink bits are great as well. These little,
it works really well, doesn't it?
Really good, yeah. Because it kind of fades into the white nicely.
And I realised I mentioned on I tried a thing and then didn't say what I tried and what it was. And I sort of said to you guys, wasn't it, is I'd done lots of washes. I'd sort of done the base coat, then done lots of washes to give it shading and colours, and then dry brushed over the shading, which, I mean, if I had an airbrush, I'd perhaps use an airbrush for that. But it's worked really well from that perspective, in that I've got a lot of different tones gradients and shades and your gradients, and then of course you bring a bit up with the pinks and that. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with bits of it.
No, it's great. I really,
it's really good.
Yeah. I put it straight on the figure. Who are you going to put it on?
Yeah, he's going to be a member of my shadow circle.
So what type of build is it going to be on a?
Just be. He'll probably have cloth arms, but it'll be very much a straight shadow circle cosmic, body, but with and I shouldn't point these sorts of things out, but it bugs me because on his right eye, as we look at it, right in the bottom corner, and I know nobody has like perfect eyes anyway, so it doesn't matter massively, there's a tiny little smudge, and you can't see that through magnifying glasses. I couldn't
see it here now. I'm going to have a look at the picture on my phone here just to zoom in.
It's like the tiniest little smudge.
No.
But you cannot. I couldn't correct it. I can't correct it.
Yeah.
You cannot see it on the. And there you go. Yeah. And then in the photo, I can just see it, and it's like, oh.
So only you can see it. I can't even see it after you mentioned it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Mark. It looks great.
Very, very pleased with the eyes.
Plus, I mean, look at us. Look at us four. Hold on, take this. Look at us four. I mean. I'm sure there's crap in my eye at some stage during the stream.
You know, that's what
I know for sure one of my eyes is lazier than the other because I see it every time I look in the mirror and every time I'm editing this podcast in the video part of it. Anyway, so awesome work. I love to show. I love you don't show off enough of your customs. So when you do, I'm gonna force you to speak about it on this show.
Mal, I got
to come.
Mal, I have two heads in a box here that I wouldn't mind you painting. Sorry, Rich. Sorry.
I was just going to say I got that head from Prop Masters, which I thought
maybe
was
it's from Prop Masters.
Unique to them.
You might be right. It might be Prop Masters. Yeah. I'll change it on Instagram then. I'm not trying to. I just could not remember where it came from, but I do remember it was like use this to test your painting skills, and I thought there's not much wrong with this. I I can modify this. Yeah, and I did. I drilled out the nostrils a bit. So.
It's awesome. It looks great. Really like it.
And from the minute I got it, I was like, this is a cosmic head. No, I'm not going to use this as an orc. Or a goblin. I think it's sort of in between, isn't it?
I would not like to meet that in Cosmerium, I can tell you that much.
Oh, no.
Well, it was the other sort of bit of inspiration, but not really in looks, was do you guys remember Firefly? The TV show? The Reavers and the way they were sort of talked about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I imagined him being a bit like a Reaver, but again, I've made him a bit more monstrous looking. So, yeah.
It's excellent. Really good.
Yeah. Cheers.
Right.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Legions Con page, which I assume is probably still Jeremy, posted this cosmic build. I just thought I'd bring it up because it's easy to forget, because these are the exclusive Legions Con parts, which are the upper arms and legs to make this. So that's one of the cosmic Legions Con figures. Is it the Magnus or the other one? Sorry, I need to check.
It's the other one. It's the
other one. Yeah.
Oh, the creature.
The kind of reptilian guy using the Novian lean head. Yeah. So, and you get the sentry arms and upper legs with him instead of is the upper legs with him anyway? Yeah. I think the upper legs are with him anyway. It's just the arms. Sorry. Yes. To make him into a sentry build. And I just thought this was, if you want your kind of cosmic soldiers in space, kind of military fatigue look, you've got him there right away.
Yeah.
And kind of Halo build as well, maybe. The game.
Really, really like the purple visor, actually. I hadn't registered.
It really stands out, doesn't it, on it?
Yeah. Yeah, those legs they're the standard legs. It's just the upper arms.
Yeah. The feet. It's his feet that are different.
Feet as well, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No?
Yeah. He's got the Sphexian feet on the other build,
yeah. I can't wait to get these.
Yeah. So I just thought I'd point that out. It looks so cool, and it's something that could have slipped by very easily. What do you think, Rich? Only need
I really like it.
Them?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to go too crazy.
Green and purple. Look at the purple visor then, just to...
I know. Yeah, I'll get the like the normal version and figure it out.
Right. And then last, or no, it's not last, sorry. We got the knights. They did a post, I thought it was worth bringing up. So all these knights here, so we have the Valiant Knight, which is, we already have, but all these knights coming, they said have the same articulation as the Valiant Knight. So it's Adalric, it's Elijah, it's Gideon Heavensbrand, Sir Andrew, who's the old dude, Templar,
Sir
Enoch. Yeah. The Joe Russo and the Blue Shield from the Ashes of Egbendor. Yosef, yeah. So they all have the new articulation, which I guess is mostly the arms and a bit the torso. So that's what you got coming. So there was all this panic about the Valiant Knight and Rich selling them for, half a mortgage. But they're coming soon.
And in some awesome colours and with awesome...
just think of the armory we just talked about, and then you have all these to kind of fit them in the different factions and different shelves and stuff. So, gotta love that.
Although, annoyingly, Sir Andrew's sold out on Big Bad.
Oh.
And I really want more of him.
I'm sure some of the European retailers have him, so just let me know. I can order you a few.
Yeah, cool.
Next year, Legions Con 2 there's bound to be loads of them there.
Oh, you don't know.
Well,
the way they're going. Might be
yeah.
But you have plans for all these figures, Rich? That doesn't involve selling them on? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, I've got a little squad of angels planned out already. And some bad guy angels. Obviously, with the fallen angels are in the same wave. Obviously, me and Templars. There's countless Templars things. And I've got a little group of whatever the Sir Andrew's men are called. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Begins with R, but the little group of them planned out as well, sort of thing. So, yeah.
That's why I want a couple of him to give him a couple of,
Revenant or Remnant or something.
The Repentant.
Something like that, yeah. The Repentant. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So, want 3 or 4 of those to go with it.
Right. And then the last thing, you can check that Mal while we're talking about this.
Yeah.
The last thing we're talking about here is there's a special projects part to the website added. So Demistros and Skullman were 2 figures that are not related to any of the lines. And now they have their own section on the website. So I just thought that was worth pointing out. If you want to look up those figures and get more info about what comes with them, the usual stuff you get with all the Legions figures. So just thought that was worth pointing out for people. And I find it cool because I love the website.
Yeah, the website is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it is the Repentant.
The Repentant. There you go. Right. So that's almost a show. I had one other thing, unless you boys have anything. We got an email from the Mythic Legions Tactics Kickstarter. Have you heard of that?
No, I don't.
There's more figures on the way.
Yeah, you're going. They have lots more Orc 2-packs, and everyone that ordered one gets a free 2-pack. No, no. So they say they have an exciting update for us. So we take them at their word. Thank you for your patience during this entire process. Have we had patience? I guess we have.
Yeah.
We haven't had any choice.
I didn't order the game, so I've had so much patience. It's been untrue.
We've now on a good path to have the single story alpha version of the game. Anyone know what that means?
It's like the very, very, very buggy first version.
So not interested in it then. Yeah. I know beta is like the one that you release just before you release it to the public. So I don't know why they're talking about alpha, because that's just like completely...
They'll release that for people to test as well. It's usually a smaller...
So free testing for them if you want. Below is our content rollout schedule for the next few months. Okay. They say also that they've had to navigate through some significant issues, but we have no clue what they are. So just so you know. And they said they'll have the game in your hands in time for mid-November. Right. So there's going to be a digital art book. That's the first thing. Downloadable art book with lots of their kind of rendering thing. If you're into that sort of thing, don't think it's anything for us really, I don't think. This one is kind of interesting.
I don't mind an art book, but...
yeah, but it's going to be this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not so fussed by computer art like that sort of thing. Yeah,
it's basically ZBrush things. Now, maybe there will be concept sketches and stuff, so let's give it a chance. Mythic Legions Tactics soundtrack. So that does sound good. Music included original music composed exclusively for Mythic Legions Tactics by an industry-leading composer and live orchestra. 30 plus tracks. Okay,
so, that I'm interested in.
Yeah, so that we could be.
That sounds really
we
good.
Could be.
Definitely.
Now, if they'd give us the rights to use those on the podcast as kind of soundtrack for when we're doing the stories and stuff, or just as background music, I'd also be down for that. So, alpha release of the single player game and storyline in time for Legions Con. So, okay, alpha version, but like as I say, buggy, kind of frustrating for a non-gaming community. People who just want to play the game, not great. It will be PC only, so hard luck if you have one of these, and that's what you got the game on. But they do say that if you've got it just for the mobile, they will grant you access to PC or Mac. So I was mad when I saw PC because I don't do PC, but I do Mac, so so okay, we'll get Mac access, so at least we'll get to see, get an idea what it looks like. Okay, and then January, the beta release of the single player storyline. Okay, so they've written it all down now. So and then they say that's also PC and Mac only, not not on the phone yet. Following the beta release, we will work with a distribution partner to release the game to a mass audience. During this time, we continue to add characters and other updates and format the game for mobile and Xbox platforms. So I don't know what's preventing them doing that before that, but I guess that there's something that you can't do a beta in those platforms, which is probably what it is.
It's quite often what happens.
Or it costs, I don't know. Yeah.
Or one or other first and then port it.
And all this stuff will be done through BackerKit. So you remember how much fun BackerKit was for the figures? So let's hope it's a bit better for this. Mobile and Xbox release Q1 2025. So then we're saying March. So they've said January for the beta. So Q1 would probably be March. Once the QC for the beta is ready, we'll move to iOS, Android, and Xbox release. And then bonus coins and gems. So they were a reward in the Kickstarter. I remember paying $10 for these because I just thought, why not? That could be, give me a
few extra.
But I didn't think it would be it's probably a good investment. Is it with inflation? It's probably a good investment at this point, considering how inflation has gone. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. Who knows? Yeah.
So at least I'll give them credit that it is a full update. I will say that this should have been, parts of this should have come earlier. And we should have also been told about what the holdups are. But I think because people got their figures, they just see the game as a bonus, except for some people obviously who are, maybe bought the game only or are really into the game. But I think after 3 years, your enthusiasm gets a bit sucked down the sinkhole a little bit. So the game will have to be good to kind of suck it back in, I think, will be the thing. Or people that come to it, people that have come in the last couple of years to Legions and weren't in on the Kickstarter, and then suddenly see this game will be like, wow, this is amazing. And it'll be us bitter old guys that'll be like, oh,
I used to game when I backed the Kickstarter.
Yeah,
my hands
exactly.
don't work as well anymore.
I had no children when I backed this Kickstarter. Now I have 4. And I'm bankrupt. And I don't even have time to make myself a bowl of cornflakes. So
anyway, stop gaming. You get to have more sex, apparently.
Oh, really? Must.
Apparently,
is that start or stop?
If you're a gamer, yeah, have more sex if you stop gaming.
Okay.
And remember, it's always important that there to have a safe word if you're doing all that sort of stuff.
Or have safe sex, I suppose.
Safe word's more fun.
Or less, because you're stopping the fun happening.
I am pure!